Absolutely extraordinary.
What's up guys, Manime here, and today I'm going to be talking about a rather strange anime. Hanasaku Iroha, or Blossoms for Tomorrow. I found this anime by chance the other day and decided to watch it for the sole purpose of it being made by PA Works. For those of you who don't know, PA Works is probably one of my favorite studios, and I honestly think almost everything they make is great. And yes, I'm even talking about Charlotte. Either way, Blossoms for Tomorrow is a pretty interesting story. Now, is it a must-watch? Well, no, I don't think so. If you're not into slow anime, then this probably isn't for you. Ironically enough, I despise slow anime. So why was I able to make it through? This was a question I pondered throughout the entire anime until I finished this show, and then it just hit me. The story itself focuses around our main character, Ohana, but the story isn't about Ohana. It's about Kissuisō, and for those of you who haven't watched the anime yet, Kissuisō is the inn where Ohana lives and works for the majority of the anime. It's your classic city girl has to move out to the country and has to work to eat. Anyway, today I'm going to be mostly focusing on the Kissuisō itself and the truly masterful world building done by PA Works. In this show, they turn this building, the Kissuisō, into a living, breathing, and yes, dying character. The first thing I want to talk about is PA Works' strategy. PA Works is often doing these pretty risky things, but in this show, they didn't really take that many risks. Or at least so I thought. It's easy to assume that this show is about Ohana and her development, but if you really think about it, how much has Ohana actually changed? She was incredibly hardworking, a genuinely good person, and shows compassion towards her friends at both the beginning of the anime and the end of the anime. The only real difference I see is that she's a little bit more in touch with her emotions by the end of the show. But that's not enough to really call that character development. Personally, I think Ohana was a trick. Well, that's a little bit too harsh of words, but I feel like her story is merely only there to trick us into the real story of the show. The Kissuisō is always a part of the story, despite never being the main focus. Kissuisō is filled with these many small arcs that involves the characters heavily and the building slightly. Yet no one takes into account how important the Kissuisō is until the final arc. A good example of this is in one of the later arcs where they have a movie shot at the Kissuisō. The main focus is on the character Anishi and how he's finally making the Kissuisō be with the times. Yet this ends up backfiring on him and the Kissuisō. I think the Kissuisō story is about the death of something that you took for granted. By the way, spoiler warning, Kissuisō closes down by the end of the anime. The way PA Works handles this is ingenious. By always making Kissuisō part of the plot but never a major plot point, we, as the viewers, take Kissuisō for granted also. In the show, we also see PA Works constantly building up the interior and exterior of Kissuisō with extreme care for continuity. I found that by the end of this anime, I could easily find my way around this building. This helps us feel like we too have worked and lived at the Kissuisō. I think the ending of this anime is probably one of the best endings I've ever seen. When the show comes to an end, everyone must leave and move on with their lives. Despite the fact that they all worked as hard as they could, it still doesn't change the outcome. It's a really bittersweet ending. Although they lost Kissuisō and they all have to separate, they do all find other places to work and live. Even though it's easy to say Kissuisō is irreplaceable, it's inferred that they all move on. I also think this is kind of like a harsh metaphor for life. Although death is inevitable, people will do everything in their powers to stop it. Yet once death occurs, it's okay to move on. Now, moving on and forgetting are two different things. And PA Works makes it pretty obvious that they want us to remember all the good times along with the bad times at Kissuisō. They have this scene in the final episode where they show shots of all of Kissuisō, and that scene just hits me so hard. These shots just caught up so many emotions in me that I didn't even know I had for the place. To me, this is what you would call excellent world building. Although it's only on a small scale, granted. I mean, obviously, like, world building's a very, very complex thing, and I'm just generalizing. The Kissuisō is a living, breathing thing in this anime, and it is what turned this anime from an okay anime into an excellent anime. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and I didn't talk you out of watching this anime. And I'm also sorry I ended up having to say the Kissuisō like 40 times. I didn't realize how many times I used it until I started actually speaking. If you guys like this content, don't be afraid to subscribe. I generally make 2 anime related videos a week. As usual, make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Manime Matt. Make sure you guys say, man, go watch that goddamn anime!